What is happening? Just a slight delay there with getting my video to work. But welcome back to another episode of Pursuit of Freedom here on the Finding Freedom podcast feed. I am your host, John Odermatt. It is Friday, August 16th. You might be listening to this later. If you are, whenever that is, that's a good time to listen. Today, I'm going to be taking you through my thought process, my motivations, my inspiration to make a piece of my entrepreneurial income an ice vending machine. So I'm excited to talk about that. But before I get to that, I want to talk about my new Above Phone for a moment here. I did interview the CEO of Above Phone, Hakeem Anwar, just over a week or so ago. Above Phone is a private phone. It is encrypted, offers encrypted messaging, encrypted calls, encrypted video calls, and it's built on a Android, back end. So this is a Google Pixel 8. It puts the really the way to actually, this is the way to put it. Someone else told me this recently. With an iPhone, you are the user. With an Android, you are the admin, and even more so with an Above Phone because you have full control over the access that you allow different apps and whatnot to take over on your phone. So if you're someone interested in privacy, if you're someone interested in, protecting yourself in these crazy wild times, check out Above Phone. And something that I have been really enjoying recently with my Above Phone, not really a privacy app per se, but just from a control standpoint, is the AntennaPod app. And for forever, I've used my iPhone and I've just used the Apple Podcast app, and I tried to switch other things. I didn't like them. AntennaPod I really like because you can subscribe to podcasts, and it's not gonna. You can change the settings. Actually, the default setting is so your podcasts do not automatically download, which I like because I have a lot of podcasts that I do want to at least look at the feeds, look at the episodes, but I might not want to listen to every show. So with AntennaPod, I can have that subscription and then just download the shows that I want. You can put them in a nice, easy queue for listening. Easy after you get through one. Maybe you don't listen to the whole thing. You can swipe right or left to remove it, move things up and down the queue. It's great. I love it. And with the Above Phone, since I still am using my iPhone at the moment, with the Above Phone, I don't have a SIM card in it, but I'm able to make phone calls, send text messages, and video calls. As I just bumped, I was wondering where I was hearing some background noise, and I bumped play on my podcast app. But it gives me the ability to do that, and I can download these episodes ahead of time if I'm going on a car ride or a run or whatever and listen to them while I'm doing that. So check it out, abovephone.com. You can get the affiliate link on the show notes page, or you can just go to abovephone.com and use promo code LIONS for $50 off an Above Phone. Obviously, it's a big purchase, so you got to check it out first. They will make you feel at ease. Great customer service with Above Phone. So check it out. Now, to get into ice vending, why ice vending? Why am I making ice vending a focus of my entrepreneurial journey? So first of all, let me give a little backstory on my experience with ice vending. So for years, my family has been going to Holden Beach, North Carolina. When I say years, I mean like 20 years. We love it there. It's a great family beach town. It's not overly built up because, the way the strip of land is on the ocean side of the intercoastal, the beach side, there's just not a lot of width to build homes. So most of it, you're only one, maybe two deep in homes, so you don't get a crowded beach. It's really nice from that perspective. Something we enjoy. It doesn't have a lot of restaurants, but when we go to the beach, we mostly cook for ourselves and eat in the house and just have fun and relax. But not but, and Holden Beach is where I had my first experience with an ice vending machine. They have a Ice House of America ice vending machine. So that's owned by an independent business owner, like I will be. And it's just off the main drag before you go over the bridge to get to the beach houses. And it's a big machine, a large machine, probably the size that now the more research I do, probably the size I will get. And it's just so convenient. And I've noticed that every time I go there to get ice, there's someone already getting ice, maybe 2 or 3 cars in line to get ice. There's people leaving. There's more cars trying to get in. It is constant with people using ice. And yes, you're on vacation. And yes, it's the summer, so it is prime time. But when you look at the quality of the ice, you're not getting a log of ice. Like if you go to a gas station or a grocery store, you get a bag of ice and it's all stuck together. It comes out in a bag with this particular machine, and you just tie it up yourself. The ice is all loose. Take it back to your house or whatever. You take it to the beach, and you're ready to go. Or you have the flexibility. You can just slide a cooler under it instead of using a bag, and you can just have the ice go right into your cooler, which is awesome. And the ice is, quality ice. It's the type that if you make a drink with it, if you're going to chew on a little bit of it, it's not like it's going to crack your tooth. It's good chewing ice, if that makes sense. But that was my first experience with ice vending, and I was intrigued with it right away. I've really been looking into this casually for about 2 years, seriously for the past, we'll say 6 months, very seriously for the past month here, as you all know. So it's come down to picking what type of machine I want, the size of the machine, and finding a vendor, a company that I can trust to work with, which I think I have found with Ice House of America. Now, when it comes to why particularly I really want to get involved with ice vending in the area that I'm in, I'm obviously in Pennsylvania, outside of Pittsburgh. I'm not in a beach town. I'm not by a lake. So you might think, why put in an ice machine? People still use ice. You still have a lot of blue-collar workers who are using ice, filling coolers every single day. You have a lot of people, like myself. Our ice machine at our house hasn't worked for 2 years, is froze over. Never buy a Samsung freezer, refrigerator combo. They suck. So we buy our own ice. There's a lot of people who don't have a refrigerator with ice making capability, yet need ice. There's people going on trips, people going to tailgate, going to games, going on boats. All kinds of different reasons why people need ice. And the ice that is in your gas stations and your grocery stores, that ice, the price for that has a lot of variables that go into it. In the past several months and couple years, you've seen an increase in the price of ice due to inflation, due to those variables being gas to get those bags of ice from where they are made to the coolers that sit out in front of your gas stations and grocery stores. There is, of course, the electricity cost that goes into keeping those things running. And when you, in contrast, when you talk about an ice vending machine, you don't have those variables in cost. You don't have gas. You don't have to worry about the transportation being from a factory or wherever it's made to the cooler. It is made right there. It's a machine that is hooked up to water, hooked up to an electric, and hooked into a drain. The ice is made on the spot. It's fresh, and if you're an environmentalist, it's fantastic because you're not using any gas to transport the ice to the destination. It's fresh. It's higher quality. And when I look in Pennsylvania, there's zero competition. So now you have the novelty aspect. You have a destination, if you will, where if you can get one in one of these areas outside of Pittsburgh or outside of State College or maybe multiple, I don't have the money for that right now, but maybe eventually, you can really build up destination ice vending, which might sound ridiculous to some people, but if you're a day laborer, if you're doing landscaping, if you're doing hard manual labor, and you're someone who fills a cooler every single day with your buddies, you meet up. Why not meet up at the ice machine, fill up your coolers there? Maybe you split a bag together, and you're set for the day. So it's finding those daily ice people, and also the people that just because there isn't anything like it in the area, it's a lot cooler to get your ice from an ice vending machine than it is to pull it out of a bin at your local Sheetz, a log of ice you have to slam down to use, and it's going to be cheaper. So if you can undercut the price, you have a better product, you have a more environmentally friendly product, and it's something different. I mean, I think it's a no-brainer. So why hasn't anyone done it? I think more and more people will try to do it. I am going to do it the right way. I'm going to do it with a high quality machine that has capacity, that it's not going to run out of ice. I'm going to make a very large investment into this, something I don't take lightly and has been pretty stressful, really, to think about how I'm going to pull this off. But I think I have a plan to be able to do it, which I can talk about on another episode later. To tease it here, it's using your IRA, your retirement savings. So I have an IRA that is my previous 401k plans from previous employers. That has increased significantly over the years. And you can use your IRA to fund a startup. It's called a rollover balance startup, which the acronym for that is ROBS. And the way you do that is by starting a corporation and then selling shares in your corporation to that IRA as you roll it in, and that funds your corporation. So that's how I plan on doing it, because it is a significant investment, I think, to do this thing the right way. I've gone through over the past couple days here and have really honed in on some areas, and actually, going in and looking at who owns this, looking at at the county level, the GIS property data, which I've experienced previously doing with buying vacant land. So I'm pretty comfortable navigating those softwares, but looking at different shopping malls or grocery stores or, Walmart parking lots, looking for an area ideally that is close to interstates, that is easy to get in and out of, that has plenty of room to navigate around. And even better, if it can be by some existing like gas stations and grocery stores where people would already be going to get ice, and it's just on the way there with a better quality product. And my plan here on Monday, my plan is to start reaching out to some of these lease agents for these commercial developments. And the pitch is, okay, hey, lease agent, I am ice vending machine. I'm looking at potentially bringing an ice vending machine to your market with Ice House America, blah, blah, blah. Potentially it's going to take up 2 to 3 parking spots in your commercial development. It's going to bring in about 50,000 people a year. It's going to be an attraction, a novelty as the only one in the area. It's going to pay you whatever we agree to from a lease. I'm not going to say it here, but a few $100s a month from a leasing standpoint. You don't have to do anything. This is free marketing for your commercial retail strip mall or whatever. So that's the sale. And sure, there's going to be people who say no, they don't want to mess with it, but there are going to be people who do want to do it. This is going to work. It's obviously worked, and these ice machines exist in many other states, just really have not taken off in Pennsylvania yet. So that is my plan for the coming week here. I'm going to work this weekend as well. I really need to get some income coming in, so I need to get going on the freelance work on Upwork with podcast editing. I'm not gonna lie, it's stressful going this route. And as I said at the beginning, I will throughout this process be applying for jobs, in my field of risk management as I'm building these other income streams as well. And if I have to take a job, I will. It's obviously my long-term plan is not to continue to work in a corporate job, but if I need to, I will do it, and I will keep those options on the table if I need to go that route. But long term, I am chartered, man. I know the direction I'm going. It feels good. It feels freeing. When it comes from just a creative standpoint, I feel better than I felt in years. I can't remember the last time I felt this creative and engaged and just excited, really, about the future. I suggest that everyone, if you don't have some sort of alternative income stream, not only is it important to have it from a risk standpoint, if you lose your job, whatever, but from a creative outlet standpoint, it's important for human beings to have something that is progressing. Now, maybe your job is progressing wonderfully and you feel great. Maybe, there's people who need to work corporate jobs. Those are always going to exist. There's people who need to work in office buildings and hospitals and doctors' offices. And there's all kinds of people who need to work jobs. So this podcast series, Pursuit of Freedom, is not for you. I'm sorry. You can listen to it. You can share it with a friend who does have an entrepreneurial spirit, who is looking to, from their perspective, free themselves to buy back some of their time, to get more margin in their life. Please share with your friends if that doesn't describe you. But I'm just going to be honest with you. I'm not going to be talking to the people who have the 9-to-5 job. I'm talking to the people who don't want a 9-to-5 job. Maybe it's a 24/7 job, but people who want control of their life, control of their income, and want to be creative, want to create new things, want to innovate. That's the audience that I want. Hopefully that describes you. If it does, welcome aboard the Pursuit of Freedom. That is a wrap for today's episode. I'll be back on Tuesday with another awesome episode. In the meantime, you guys keep on fighting, and I'll do the same.